You know how you can look at an old painting and just wonder, who made this? What was their story? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on the incredible, almost lost story of a true American pioneer who completely changed the game. Let's get into it.
Okay, first, just take a second and really look at this portrait. See that serious expression? The way the background is so simple and dark, it just makes his face pop. It feels like this guy has seen some things, you know? And get this was painted over 200 years ago.
But here's the crazy part. For the longest time, the artist was a total mystery. His story was practically erased from the history books. So, who was he?
We're going to piece together the life of this amazing artist. It's kind of cool, right? He spent his life painting portraits of other people, and now we get to sort of paint a portrait of him using the facts of his life.
His name was Joshua Johnston, and this is a huge deal, so let it sink in. He is widely considered the very first professional African-American artist in the U.S. I mean, a person who actually made a living selling his art at a time when that was, well, pretty much unthinkable.
And to really get just how remarkable his story is, we have to rewind all the way back to the beginning. And let me tell you, the odds were totally stacked against him.
Joshua Johnston was born into slavery around 1763. But then, when he was about 19 years old, his life changed forever. He became a free man. Can you just imagine that? This was the start of a brand new chapter, a chance to build a life entirely on his own terms.
So what do you do with that kind of newfound freedom? For Joshua Johnston, the answer was clear. He was going to become an artist, and he chose a big, bustling city to make it happen.
And this was that city, Baltimore, around the year 1800. It was a busy port, buzzing with merchants, sea captains, and wealthy families. You know, exactly the kind of people who would pay to have a portrait painted. He was smart, too. He listed himself in city directories as a free householder of color. That wasn't just a label, it was a statement. It said, "I am a free man and I am a property owner here."
In those directories, he was listed as a limner. And that's an old word you don't hear much anymore, but it described him perfectly. A limner was a portrait painter, but usually one who was self-taught. Someone who learned by doing, by practicing, not by going to a fancy art school. And that was Joshua Johnston to a T. No formal training, just raw talent, incredible determination, and a totally unique artistic vision. He really was a self-taught genius.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. He actually wrote this about himself in a newspaper ad. He called himself a self-taught genius and talked about the insuperable obstacles, these huge, impossible challenges that he had to overcome. He knew his journey was tough, and you can tell he was proud of what he'd accomplished.
Okay, so this is the fun part. You can actually become a Joshua Johnston art detective. Seriously, once you know what to look for, his paintings are pretty easy to spot. He had a signature style. Look for oval-shaped faces, people sitting very formally, and simple backgrounds that really make the person stand out. And here's a big clue. He loved to include little props, like books, flowers, or fruit.
Now think about this. We know of more than 83 of his paintings that have survived all this time. Over 83. That's just incredible. Each one is a little piece of his legacy, and it proves he wasn't just dabbling in art. He was a successful, working artist.
And who was buying these paintings? The absolute who's who of Baltimore. We're talking successful merchants, doctors, politicians, the wealthiest families in the city who wanted the very best. The fact that they chose Joshua Johnston, a free black man, to paint their family portraits tells you everything you need to know about his extraordinary talent.
So, his story doesn't just end in 19th century Baltimore. Oh no, not by a long shot. In many ways, that was just the beginning. Let's talk about how his hard work built the incredible legacy he has today.
And this pretty much says it all, doesn't it? Back then, he was a free householder of color, a working artist trying to make a living. And today, he's a celebrated artist, a key figure in American art history. That is an absolutely incredible journey.
His paintings aren't hidden away in some vault. You can go see them right now. They're hanging on the walls of the most famous museums in the world. The National Gallery of Art, the Met in New York, the Smithsonian. His work is finally being recognized as an essential part of America's story. And that's really the heart of it all. Joshua Johnston wasn't just painting pictures, he was a trailblazer. By breaking down barriers and succeeding against all odds, he was opening a door for all the artists who came after him. He proved that talent and determination could overcome almost anything.
It's just wild to think his story was almost completely lost. Which makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other incredible stories are out there, just waiting to be told? Whose hidden history should we uncover next?